Well, it looks like the ANC just brought back Apartheid Light. Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the News in 5. My name is Emilio. Thanks for tuning in. The DA has just brought to light something very interesting and frankly disgusting about the EEA, or otherwise known as the Employment Equity Amendment Act. The regulations set out racial employment quotas across 18 economic sectors and across all 9 provinces, which will affect every part of the South African economy. The regulations apply to all companies with more than 50 employees. So basically, the ANC wants to dictate to any business that has more than 50 employees just how many people of color they should employ, whether they're black, whether they're colored, whether they're Indian or white.
You kidding me?
This is absurd, and it gets worse. The quotas seem especially targeted at the groups defined by the regulations as colored males, colored females, Indian males, and Indian females. People from these communities suffered discrimination under the previous regime, and now they are being re-victimized by a democratic government that has learnt all the wrong lessons from the past. And for my international viewers, let me just clarify something. Referring to these people as colored is not a derogatory term. Much like there are whites here, Afrikaners, blacks, it's another ethnic group, it's another culture, and they're awesome people. But unfortunately, due to South Africa's past during apartheid, they weren't white enough. And now with the ANC regime, apparently they're not black enough. The colored people seem to always go by the wayside, the forgotten group of people of South Africa. And I think enough is enough. And also, let's not forget about the Indians as well. They've also had it a bit rough. And guys, some of the stuff they're saying in this EEA Act is... just have a look at this. Even in Gauteng, the country's economic heartland, employment by people classified by the state as colored is sometimes limited to below 1%. In the case of employees classified by the state as Indian, the targets are often as low as 0.1% across economic sectors.
You can't be serious.
Now, I know what you might say. A lot of Coloureds and Indians may not be living in Gauteng or may not be living in some of the other places that is mentioned in this act, but that's besides the point. You shouldn't have these kind of quotas at all. You shouldn't force businesses at all to have these kind of quotas. It's wrong. South Africa, of all countries, should know this. Not allowing someone to be employed based on the color of their skin is wrong. But here's an example of how ridiculous this EEA Act really is. Consider the absurdity. A company with 50 employees that has even a single Indian person on the payroll will be in breach of the 0.1% limit, as 1 out of 50 is equal to 2% of the company's total employees. Conversely, if that company fires its single Indian employee on the basis of race, it will also be in breach because it will then have 0% Indian employees. But anyway, as you saw by the example, this won't work in practice. I think 2 things are happening here. One, and probably the most important thing, is elections. ANC is trying its best to garner votes, perhaps saying, hey, look at us, we're helping you get opportunity because now we're forcing businesses to hire you even if you don't have the qualifications. But that is actually the main problem. This brings me to point number 2. The education system in South Africa is failing. It's dismal. It's been ransacked. It's corrupt. We all know this. This isn't news, but it's because of the failure of the ANC to provide decent education to its people. Therefore, it is not producing, or the country isn't producing, employable individuals. But no, ANC doesn't focus on that problem. Let's just make the business hire you regardless if you have a qualification or not, which causes other problems. And when you force businesses to hire people based on the color of their skin, that's a form of discrimination. That's apartheid. Now, I know Sakhalika has started litigation against this act, and I will keep an eye on them and when any updates may emerge. But I would really like to know your thoughts on this act. Please leave a comment in the comment section below. And if you enjoy this content, you might enjoy watching these videos. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel because I've got more content coming your way. Thanks for watching, stay safe, be kind to one another, and I'll see you at the next one. Cheers.